Sophie and I'm here on my first YouTube video. I want all of you to go like and subscribe right now. Go support your good sis. Now, here I'm going to try Lucky Charm nails. I've been seeing this trend a lot on TikTok and I thought it'd be cool to try a video out of it. So let's go. First, you're going to see me clipping the nails because I like more natural looking nails, especially when I'm doing it on my practice nails because they're like long and I want a more natural looking nail, so I like clip it down a little bit and I file it to a more rounded shape so that when I put on my tips it's more easier and it's less nail space for me, especially I can clip it as much as I want because it's not a regular person's nail, it's a practice nail and I like that more rounded shape. That's easier for me when I apply my tips. So I'm just going to buff it. As you see, I have my 100-180 nail file and I use the 180 side because the nails are more plasticky, so I'll just use that because it needs a more roughened sided nail to get it the surface rough, take off all that shine so that when I apply my tips and acrylic it will stay there and won't pop off. So now I'm about to apply my tips. You can't see it's off camera, sorry, but I'm clipping off the sides of the bottom of the nail tips so that it's more fitting to the nail, because usually there's a size too big or too small, but when there's a size too big you can clip off the side so that it's fitting to the nail. And I usually do it with my clients too because sometimes their nail beds are like not an exact size, so I usually use a size bigger and I just clip the sides adjusting it to what their nail bed sides are. And I'm just gonna apply my glue and I'm going to not put that much but enough to spread around the bottom part of the nail and so that to be able to stick. And you make sure that you don't wait too long to put it on, because if you do then it will dry and it would not be able to stick as well to the nail bed. So here I am clipping the nail tips in order to get a coffin shape, and the coffin shape is real narrow, and as you can see the nail tips come as square, so just for less filing and all the extra stuff it's just easier to clip it off before I have to make the shape more crisp and take off those rough edges and everything to make the nice coffin shape that I want. So I just keep doing that with everything, but as you can see I was using a nail clipper. At first my scissors, they weren't working and I just assumed it's because they got dull, and then I realised that there was dry glue in them and I looked and I took it off and stupid me, it was finally working, and like I couldn't use them on one of my clients because I really thought it was dull and I couldn't use it and I didn't have any more scissors. But then like when I was making this video, I was just like, let me see, and I found out that it was just stupid dry glue. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else struggled like that with like me, but make sure that you don't use any of your nail tools that you're using with glue, because usually when the nail glue comes in like the packaging, you got to open the tube with like something sharp, and I usually use my nail clippers or like my cuticle nippers and stuff like that. But you got to make sure you like wipe off the glue like right away, because once it dries it's like really hard to come off. Or just don't use your tools that you're using for nails at all, and just find something old or something that is not in use for you, and just use that to open it instead, and it won't cause you a headache to be able to take it off of your stuff. But yeah, anywho, back to the nail. I'm filing it right now. I'm just making sure I'm going to the sidewalls first to really bring in that coffin shape and to fix those rugged lines that I made with the nail clipper. And I'm going at the top of the nail to make sure I really get that squarish tip shape, so it can bring in that nice coffin shape all together. And I'm buffing the nail where the tip meets the nail bed so that it is easier to blend in that nail with the tip. So there, I'm going to put in my monomer to get ready to use my acrylic, and I've decided to use Milky White, so it'd be like cereal and milk. So I mean, some people say milk and cereal, please nobody come for me in the comments, but yeah. So first I'm going to use my Milky White acrylic as a base for the cereal to stick on, because if I just didn't have anything there but the nail, the cereal wouldn't have anything to stick on, and it would be harder for me to move around my acrylic so that it would be encapsulated. Because if I didn't have anything for the cereal to stick on, when I apply my other layer of acrylic on top, it would move around too much and wouldn't be in the spots that I specifically placed it in. But it does move a little bit when you do put that first layer on, but it's not as much as it would if I didn't have that base there for the cereal to be encapsulated. So I'm just going to keep putting in more cereal until I feel as if I have enough there to fill up the whole thing. Then I'm going to put on my other layer on top of it so that it can be encapsulated inside the nail, and I want to make sure that it doesn't cover it too much that you don't see what I put inside the nail, but I want it to be covered up enough where when I file it I'm not chopping up the cereal or messing up what I put there. So I'm just making sure that I don't put too much on there. So I'm just putting little beads of acrylic because this is my first time trying it out, and like food and acrylic, I mean, it was a weird combination for me, so I'm just trying to figure it out as I go, making sure I don't put too much, because if you put too much it's harder to take back, whereas if you put a little bit you can keep readjusting to it. So I'm just going to keep making sure I'm making that shape and putting all that I can in there and not putting too much. Then for every time I use my coloured acrylic, I always use that layer of clear acrylic to seal that colour on, so when I'm filing the nail it doesn't mess up that colour. And I also have more thickness to the nail, and I use less of my coloured acrylic, whereas they cost more, and yeah, so I'm just being smart. So again, we're going to do the same thing that we did for the tips for filing. We're going to make sure that we go to the sidewalls first to make sure we bring in that narrow coffin shape. And we're going to keep getting to those sidewalls from different angles to make sure that we have that very, very crisp and file to your liking. And we're also going to go to the top as well to make sure it's really, really crisp and it almost looks square at the top, and you have that coffin shape which narrows it at the side. And you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over for all the nails. So now I've got my e-file, and basically what you use it for is to get into that cuticle and to flatten out any bumps that you have on top of the nail all over, and you want to smooth out any rough spots, anything that you weren't able to do with your regular file. And maybe you can get the sides more a little bit. Some people don't, but I do sometimes when I'm getting to file that nail more, because the e-file helps a lot. So unfortunately, I was too much of a scaredy cat to post my drawing on camera, but what I did was draw the Lucky Charms logo on the 2 nails that I left blank that I didn't encapsulate, and I drew on those 2. So now what I'm doing is putting matte top coat on the nails. I was deciding whether I should do matte or shiny, but I really don't do matte top coats on nails that much, so I decided to try it on this one and see what it looked like. And yeah, so all I do is put it in the LED lamp and then I wait for it to cure. So you guys, let's see what it looks like. I have a picture waiting for you at the end. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about me. See you guys next video.